Hello, everyone. Paul Feldman, Insurance Newsnet. I am here with Scott Davison, the Chairman, President, and CEO of OneAmerica, and somebody I highly respect in this industry. And I'm so happy to have you here today.
Well, thanks so much for having me on. Appreciate the time.
So tell us about what you guys are doing at OneAmerica, because you have a very fascinating story in the industry.
Yes, well, first of all, I should say we are a mutual company, so we are very, very focused on the mission and long-term serving the needs of our clients and also the needs of the advisors that serve them. So we have a number of businesses, pretty well diversified. We start with our life insurance, our traditional life insurance business, which is focused on whole life. We're also a market leader in asset-based long-term care, or hybrid long-term care, as people call it. We've been in that business for 30 years, really know it inside and out. It's one of the things that we would consider ourselves to be really expert in and an innovator in that market. And we also have a small but growing employee benefits business, group life and group disability, both traditional and voluntary. And then we have our record-keeping business, which 401k, 403b, 457, you name it, in the retirement space, we do it. And lastly, we have an institutional markets space, mostly focused on pension risk transfer. And that's been a very fast-growing and very helpful business for us. So pretty well diversified. We have the tools that your typical client will need to build their financial future.
I think that most of our readers are really familiar with you guys on the alternative to long-term care, hybrid annuity. But tell us about your whole life.
Sure. I mean, it is really the core of where we started. We started as a fraternal organization in the 1870s, and life insurance was the start of what we do, and it continues to be a product that we think almost every consumer in America should own. So that is right at the heart of our mission. So it's a participating policy, being a mutual. And it's very competitive in the marketplace, and it's focused on providing the flexibility for people to be able to use it and use the cash value in the policy while they're alive, and also to provide death protection in the event of a premature death, and also as a effective part of a estate plan. So it is very much part of what we do, and really at the core of our traditional mission.
And so with that, let's talk about your long-term care hybrid, because you guys were and are still kind of a pioneer in this marketplace. And I see long-term care as a huge issue for everybody in society. And it's a really great policy for agents and advisors to be offering. Tell us a little bit about that and how you feel about why every advisor, because I think every advisor should be selling this, every agent and advisor.
I totally agree, because there's such a need out there. If you look at the demographics in the individual life and annuity space, the demographics for long-term care are the most promising over the next couple of decades of any product that we have out there as an industry in the market. And the asset-based long-term care, the hybrid long-term care, is the most sustainable model. It's sustainable for the clients because the rates are guaranteed, so you're not going to get a large rate increase when you can least afford it in your old age. And because it's built on a life insurance or an annuity platform, it's financially sustainable for the insurance company, for the carrier. So when you combine those things together, it is the ultimate suitable sale for a client that's starting to think towards retirement. And a great way today to reposition some assets for those clients so they can cover their long-term care needs, and also be able to put them in a product that is going to pay a benefit no matter what. Whether they keep the policy, whether they choose later to lapse the policy, whether they die early, whether they need long-term care or not, this product really responds in all of those scenarios. One of the reasons that we love it so much is it puts us on the same side of the table as the client.
Yeah.
So because they're going to get a benefit where they live, die, or quit, because the rates are guaranteed, we are not hoping that the client does something against their own interest. We are hoping the client stays with the policy, lives a happy, healthy life, But we know at the end of the day, we are going to be the pay window one way or the other, providing a great benefit for that client and their family.
Does your whole life product have that long-term care protection?
Yeah, so we do have an accelerated benefit on our whole life, which is a little bit different. The difference when you go to the hybrid product is it is built on a whole life chassis, but it also has long-term care riders that are attached to it. So the product actually has to go through two different reviews with departments of insurance when we file it around the country. So it is a fully integrated product that is much different than simply a critical illness rider on a whole life policy. Provides a much more meaningful long-term care benefit.
So what are the biggest challenges advisors face in getting into this and adding this to their portfolio?
I think it's just the change, because most advisors I know are very good at a few things, and they tend to rinse and repeat over and over again. So this is something new. It's a bit of a pivot. It does take some energy to learn how these products work. They're a little bit more complex in some ways. They have some more options, and also learning the process of having those critical conversations with the client about long-term care and why this is a better alternative than trying to self-fund it or hope that Medicaid is going to pay for them.
So talk about how your products are evolving with all of this stuff that's happening in regulation today.
Yeah, I mean, there's always an evolution, and you're always looking to keep product fresh. We've tended to stay with products. Whole Life's a great example that have really stood the test of time, and that really that address client needs that were relevant years ago, are relevant today, and relevant tomorrow. So most of the product updates that we're doing are not radical departures, because we know what a typical American family needs to build a secure financial plan, and so we tend to stick with the concepts that have always been true, and we tend to stick with products that have a long track record of being great for clients.
Well, Scott, what a great interview. I really enjoyed speaking with you. Thank you so much for sharing what you did.
Well, it's been a pleasure. Always enjoy talking to you folks, and thanks for all you do for the industry.
Thank you. I appreciate it.